In Helldivers 2, you play as a helmet enthusiast from a warrior culture that is an absolutely cracked weapons master who can wipe the floor with anything that has a trigger and also has a big heavy-hitting spaceship to back them up. And if that doesn't sound familiar, then you must not know the way.
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
With a versatile array of weapons to use and a culture of war, the Mandalorians are surprisingly similar to the Helldivers. And as masters of all things guns, you can build the Mandalorian just about any way you want as long as you include the absolutely essential jump pack and one of these two helmets. There's also the green Halo one that I'm extremely sad that I can't get, but we're not going to talk about things that make me sad. Luke and I used these two armor sets solely because of the drip, but of course do whatever is fun for you, just know that there are better armor sets for this build. For our primary weapon, we decided on the sickle because it's about as Star Wars of a gun as it gets in Helldivers. It's an automatic laser rifle with practically unlimited ammo that also happens to be extremely good. I mean, it's right there in the title. Sickle. Also, check out how similar it looks to Boba Fett's EE3 rifle. And as a nod to Jango, we use the Senator as our sidearm, because spinning is a great trick. From here, there's quite a lot of justification for most of the support weapons. Mandalorians have been seen using flamethrowers, Gatling guns, snipers, grenades, rockets, manned turrets, grappling hooks, shock weapons, knives, swords. Please add melee weapons, Arrowhead. And also whatever this is. For my loadout, in addition to the jump pack, which is absolutely goated in my opinion, I ran Eats because they're kind of like that backpack rocket that Boba Fett uses. You could run a second support weapon, but I just grabbed whatever support weapon I found out on the map, and it's kind of fun to play this way because you get to try lots of stuff that you wouldn't use otherwise. For my Eagle, I alternated between the 500 kg because it's the closest thing to the seismic charge, at least for now, and the strafing run because it kind of felt like having Slave 1 do a flyby. In my final slot, I could have taken something good, but instead I opted for the fun option and used a Gatling turret, so it's kind of like having IG-11 watching my back, or shooting me in the back, as is sometimes the case.
My loadout is pretty similar to Drew's, but instead of running the expendable anti-tank, I run the anti-material rifle. The AMR functions a lot like Din Djarin's sniper rifle, the Amban sniper rifle like he uses in the show. The combination of the jump pack and the AMR allows you to get angles and be effective from a distance rather than being mid to close range all the time. For my other strats, I chose to run the airstrike and either the Gatling or autocannon sentry. Having a droid by your side is almost always a good thing. Just make sure to duck and cover when you run in front of it. I know you learned that in basic training, but you'd be surprised at how many people get gunned down by their own turrets. The regular airstrike gives you one more way to deal with big armored targets if things get too hairy. Overall, you are able to deal with most threats that come your way on your own, but it's always better to fight as a team. This is the way.
Where the guns are really flexible, this build is mostly about the jump pack, which I feel is a little underrated. It's so fun to use, but it also gets you up into spots that you couldn't get to otherwise. Positioning is an aspect of the game that I don't see talked about very often, but it's essential for getting angles on enemy positions, as well as getting good spots for your turret. Everything in these builds seems to work really well against both Clankers and Geonosians, as your primary clears chaff really easily and you have lots of great options for heavies. Mandalorians have a reputation for a reason after all. Give this build a try and let us know how you like it, and do let us know what builds you're having fun with. We'll be making more of these themed builds, so subscribe, or you're a commie bot!